Maria, a customer service representative, informed HR that she's been diagnosed with a degenerative condition that causes unpredictable flare-ups and severe joint pain and mobility issues. Now, while Maria can generally complete her job, she struggles with physically demanding tasks during her flare-ups, which are somewhat unpredictable. So we're talking about an employee who is requesting potential intermittent leave under the ADA. I'm talking about FMLA, that's been exhausted. We're talking about the ADA. She has trouble with walking to different departments to deliver reports, standing for extended periods of time during team meetings. She has provided a medical certificate with restrictions on how she can perform her duties and requested that the space be modified during the time periods that she has challenges. Maria's role involves a mix of desk work, customer service interactions, team meetings, delivering reports, and occasional physical tasks that require mobility. She's expressed a willingness to continue performing her essential job functions, but has requested accommodations such as using mobility aids and flexibility to work remotely on the days when her symptoms are severe, which is unpredictable. HR is completely unclear how to manage how Maria's restrictions impact her ability to perform the functions, the essential functions of her job, and how to do that without causing an undue hardship and making sure that she is performing at a meet expectations level. Because if she can't meet the expectations of the job, she's not going to be a qualified individual with a disability. So they're just unsure how to adjust her role while ensuring her productivity. And keep in mind, we don't change job descriptions. We modify the way the job is being performed or the task is being performed. So your high-level job description that's 2 or 3 paragraphs long or 2 or 3 sentences long is just an overview. It doesn't really clarify how you get it done. Once you know how they get the job done, they fly here, they walk here, they create these reports, they engage with these people. We are really modifying how they perform those essential functions that allow them to meet the expectations of that job classification description. Trying to identify essential functions from a job description is very challenging. However, I can tell you that's what Voc Rehab people are about. So they indicated that someone in their HR department had heard from us before that we are developing this Voc Rehab Consulting source for human resources to utilize. How do you hire a Voc Rehab consultant in the ADA accommodation request possible? And what can they help you with? What is their role? Well, let's take a breath. And what is a vocational rehabilitation consultant? They have master's degrees, everybody. They work for Health and Human Services most of the time, or very often. They do Social Security disability expert testimony. Because if you're so disabled you can't work anymore and you want to get Social Security disability at the federal level, you're going through a Voc Rehab consultant unless it's very clear you can't work. So Voc Rehab consultants are the experts in our country on how disability restrictions impact the ability of an employee or a injured American, doesn't matter why, or a cognitively or physically disabled American who wants to work. The functions of daily living are impacted. In California, that includes work. But by the way, just because the function of daily living in the state of California under the state accommodation under ADA doesn't mean you still don't get to get medical confirmation confirming they're actually being treated by a physician. They have a real disability. It's not just something out of their mouth. Take a look at the actual regulation if you're questioning that. And please don't believe an employee says, well, you know, everybody gets an accommodation. No, they don't. They have to be a qualified individual with a disability, which means they have a disability first, and that disability impacts their ability to work. But it starts with having a disability, folks. So if we don't understand what the disability is, we get to get documentation confirming they have a disability. That impacts their ability to work in California, and of course impacts all the other aspects of daily living every place else in the country. So once you have someone who has a disability, Now the question is, can they do their job with a disability? Can they perform all those essential functions with a disability, with an accommodation that does not impact the other employees in a way that they're uncomfortable with, doesn't impact the operations of the organization, is predictable if you need it to be, so it's not unpredictable as needed accommodation, unless that's absolutely not an undue hardship, and considers all of their challenges, which means they may need to telecommute. Can they deliver those reports via Zoom? So at Voc Rehab Consultant, this is their expertise. What we do is we train them to understand their role in helping you so they don't overstep, and that they really are vocational rehabilitation consultants and not acting as counselors, which is what they do in the rehab departments in the country, because they don't get to just do anything. It has to be something that allows that employee with their disability to perform all the essential functions of the job at a meets expectation level. Now, Voc Rehab consultants aren't going to necessarily help you with undue hardship, but they certainly can identify another opportunity to accommodate if the accommodation that was originally identified is an undue hardship. So they can actually help and support you in the ADA accommodation process. We're going to be creating a list on our site, on the leavemanagementsolutions.com site, of the Voc Rehab consultants who have gone through our training, which is specifically focused on understanding how they add value to your process. They don't overstep their bounds. They don't talk to employees in a way that is inappropriate, but they are following your procedure on identifying the accommodation request itself. Once they identify the accommodation, then it's going to be your job, HR, to determine whether it causes an undue hardship. And that's different, everybody, than whether they are actually able to perform all the essential functions of their job at a meets expectation level with that accommodation, if in fact it's not an undue hardship. I know that's a lot of stuff, but those are your basic issues that you're attempting to address when you're engaging in the ADA. We've got a lot of scenarios, a lot of different videos. We've got a yearly membership site that gives you access to other kinds of trainings and resources and checklists and forms and letters. So if you are looking for a resource to help you with this, we're here to help. I hope you're going to have a great year. Thank you. Bye.